Good evening, everyone. So today I will be presenting to you our strategy analysis of Gucci. So on today's agenda, we're going to go through brand overview, current market analysis, competitive landscape, brand strengths and weaknesses, opportunities for growth, new revenue and profitability strategies, and some key takeaways. To understand how to better Gucci, we have to understand why people love Gucci so much. So for some context, I'm now going to speak about building the future on a 100-year legacy. So I'm bringing you back now to 1921, that Guccio Gucci started a dream born in Florence, and his first Gucci boutique, primarily selling Gucci leather goods. This is an idea that he got from a lot of time working at the London Savoy Hotel. There he gained inspiration for example, the horse bit and some luxury luggage that he saw. So all of his products in the beginning were very question inspired. And this caught the attention of a lot of iconic celebrities, like, for example, Jackie Kennedy, who found a love for the Jackie bag, also now named after her. So this is in the 1950s, where the global jet set trend started pulling in, which made Gucci gain a lot of traction. But then later on, Guccio Gucci died, making his sons take over, and then they started having some family feuds, which led to Gucci dipping in its success. This brings us to 1990s, where Tom Ford came in and saved Gucci from this inevitable downfall. So Tom Ford incorporated a lot of sleek designs, which are iconic for Gucci today, and people often reference back to Gucci's runways from this era. Then further on into 2000s, the consolidation and expansion era. So this is where the Kering Group bought up Gucci and made it until what we see today. So now they incorporate a lot of perfumes and a lot of other brand extensions, which we see in all the Gucci boutiques today. And then in 2015, the renovation era came in, and Alessandro Michele started working as the creative director for Gucci. And he is very different from Tom Ford. He changed Gucci's whole narrative from being very sleek, and there weren't a lot of big logos around. Michele did the whole other turnaround and decided that everything would be very colorful, very creative, very pop. So this is what we see today. And then now onwards to 2024, we have the inclusive, sustainable elevation. So now Gucci focuses a lot of bringing inclusivity into their collections and showing that they care about the environment. So furthermore, who is Gucci today, you might ask? Well, Gucci today owns over 500 stores worldwide and is known as a premier luxury brand. Ownership is now by the French conglomerate Kering Group, and they have, as of now, been facing a lot of challenges from following previous trends. For example, they had a scandal of the baklava trend. There they were accused of doing blackface, and then also all of their workers went on strike, which have caused a lot of uproar about how Gucci is handling their employees and their brand. Now the creative director as of 2023 is Sabato De Sarno, and he comes in with this whole new idea that he wants to bring Gucci and love into people's hearts. And with this current focus, he also says that instead of creating trends, he's going to be creating trends and not follow them, which is what led to their downfall in these previous years. Okay, now let's talk about a very important factor in all this. So Gucci's brand equity. So the brand value is currently at $17.9 billion, which is a 10% decrease from last year. And now coming to the end of the year, Gucci is presumed to also reach a 20% decrease from last year, which we now think is mostly due to the market slowdown in China, since Gucci has been putting a lot of emphasis on the Chinese market recently, and shifts in consumer preferences, preferring more quiet luxury, and the competitive pressures from other brands like Chanel and Dior, but we'll talk more about that later. But this brings to how Gucci has reached this brand value with their perceived value, which is due to their heritage and craftsmanship, innovative designs and creative direction, and their global and emotional presence. They're a bit of everywhere and a household name, so it's hard to miss them. Now on to brand association. So what do we think about when we think about Gucci? So what Gucci would want you, or what would be best for them to want you to think about, would be their heritage, cultural legacy, luxury and prestige, which they held a very strong association to before. But now they're more associated with their modernity and bold trend-setting choices and their youth appeal. So Gucci is, as of now, very well liked by millennials and Gen Z, which is due to their creative partnerships and marketing, like Adidas, hip hop artists, and so on. But this has also brought them to kind of a bad association. Like, for example, in Sweden, Gucci caps and the Gucci logos are very, very strongly associated with these gangs, the criminal gangs that we have in Sweden. They also often have the caps or like one of those little handbag pouches. And that is kind of what Swedes think about when they think about Gucci now, due to it being such a high trend in those groups. Which came from these Adidas collaboration and the hip hop artist collaborations. So then we move on to iconic symbols. Of course, the GG logo, the classic and iconic horse bit, green, red stripes, and tiger. The green, red stripes and the GG logo is arguably today what is mostly a bad association or thinking about a fake product or something that is a bit cheap because of all the struggles that Gucci is going through right now with fakes being made, but we'll talk more about that later. Now let's start by getting into some STP. So Gucci's segmentation are aged between the millennials and the Gen Z as of now, while still trying to retain their older, more affluent customer base. Their income group right now is high income groups, but now recent years they're more aspirational middle class Henrys that has come into this group as well. Geographic segmentation, they're focusing more of the North American and European areas, but as of recently they've had a very high focus on the Asian areas like China and Korea. Psychographic segmentation, Gucci focuses a lot on lifestyle. They're very luxury focused, exclusivity driven, self-expressive, and they're looking for individuals to like to show a lot of pop of color and unique designs, which goes into personality. They want trendsetters, creatives, and seekers of uniqueness, which are often people drawn to Gucci. So Gucci's targeting audience are aged between 25 and 45, prioritizing someone who is very intrigued in luxury and fashion. And their segments within this would be affluent customers, aspirational customers, young generations like millennial and the Gen Z, and traditional luxury. So about how Gucci chooses to position themselves in this luxury market, let's start with their own personal positioning statement being, Gucci is a global luxury brand that redefines fashion by blending Italian heritage with modern, bold designs, catering to individuals who seek exclusivity, self-expression, and timeless sophistication. So with that said, I would like to point out that Gucci's USP is their Italian heritage, blended with the craftsmanship and modern innovation and bold electric designs, which they put into every piece that they make. And then some other key differentiators would be that they're very focused on inclusivity and sustainability nowadays. They choose a lot of pop culture icons to represent their brand, so which leads to their iconic branding, and so on and so on. But now, more importantly, over to Gucci's current market analysis. So where are they in the market right now? So their performance in the luxury market is actually not doing that well. The most recent concrete numbers I've found is that Gucci sales dropped by 14% in Q3 of 2023. And this is mainly due to them not being able to pick the right trends to follow, pick the right trends not to follow, and their competitors like Chanel and Dior actually gain market share because they've been much better in their marketing and choosing trends than Gucci has. And they've also been set back to not keeping up with specifically digital marketing. which Chanel and Chanel, Dior, and other brands have. Now on to Gucci's market shares and sales. So 50% total of Gucci's revenue comes from Asia and North America. This is where they're putting a lot of focus right now, so that makes sense. Their e-commerce revenue reached 1.93 billion of 2024. With this, is actually really good. But they started mass producing its goods some years ago, and this led to people not wanting to buy Gucci as much, as it's been flooding the market and it doesn't give this exclusivity feel. So this also caused a rise of counterfeit Gucci goods flooding lower income markets. So this is, for example, the example I took earlier of seeing these criminal gangs walking around with Gucci. This is where that has come from. Now on to consumer behavior trends. This is kind of the main reason for Gucci's downfall in recent years. So Gucci has shifted focus from their affluent base to now younger shoppers like millennials and Gen Z, which now dominate the customer base. So there's a rising demand for sustainable and ethical goods. Since Gucci has had a lot of setbacks due to the being cancelled by Gen Z culture now, they've been struggling a lot with keeping up to the sustainable and ethical expectations that we have on brands today. Also, consumers favor a quiet luxury over flashy trends. This is the big reason of how Gucci went wrong when picking out their trends as well, because now Gucci has they have a very hard time coming back to a quiet luxury, as they're so well known for being so flashy. And some words that come to mind would be hype beast and hip hop trendy. So this also caused some economic pressures overall globally, which due to COVID and so on, which also caused a dip in spending overall. So I've already touched a bit upon this, but Gucci's fall from grace. So shifted from exclusivity to mass market trends, which has been their number one mistake. Over focused on millennials and aspirational buyers, Gucci is not seen as much as an exclusive brand as it was before. It's not seen up there with Hermes and Chanel. Now it's been when I think of Gucci, a lot of those brands don't come up into mind anymore. Failed to align with quiet luxury trends. Gucci had a beautiful quiet luxury feel to it before in the 90s, but still being very innovative and bold. Tom Ford really caused that perfect balance, but now in recent years they've really gone for the trendiest of the trends, like a bucket hat and some fluffy shoes and a asymmetrical bag, which are trends that come one quarter and then leaves. Leadership instability and strategy misalignment has also been one of their key issues, and declining revenue and market share as competitors have adapted better. So let's now check out Gucci's competitive landscape. So this is a little chart showing exactly where Gucci is today. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about this, but I think this is globally right now what is going on. So Gucci has been shuttering away from this exclusivity branch up there, and going down also on prestige. So now it's more going towards Coach than it is going towards Louis Vuitton, which is actually quite interesting because Louis Vuitton did commit some same mistakes as Gucci, but Gucci has not been able to bring itself back up as effortlessly. So let's check out brands like Chanel, which is known for very timeless elegance and exclusivity. Dior, who combines innovative fashion and strong brand heritage. One of the key reasons why I think Dior also has survived this hypebeast trend wave was because even though they did indulge in some trends, they still kept a very, very hard grip onto their old heritage. Louis Vuitton dominates with their iconic designs and their boss leather goods, which they've always done, and never really shied away from. Hermes renowned for craftsmanship and ultra premium products, and they're also been keeping very hard grip on their quiet luxury, and they've ignored all trends, which has shown to work out in their favor. So, comparison of market strategies, we can see that Chanel has focused more on their exclusivity and the limited product availability to maintain their prestige. This is something Gucci has never even heard of. Dior has their strong emphasis on creative direction, so they're working a lot with Maria Garcia and leveraging celebrity endorsement. So they're very heavy reliant on celebrity endorsement, but it seems to have been working out in their favor. Then we have Louis Vuitton, which has an extensive e-commerce presence and global experimental marketing. So they have a lot of pop-ups and collaborations. There's one of the key reasons, I think, why Louis Vuitton has survived this downfall of that Gucci dipped into has been because they have been sure to keep themselves very, very out there. They're constantly doing big sculptures and pop-ups of Louis Vuitton bags and so on. So everywhere you look on social media when scrolling, you're sure to see something of Louis Vuitton. And same with Dior, with their Dior cafes and so on. Now, in order to know how Gucci can succeed past its competitors, we need to first look at Gucci's brand strengths and weaknesses to see where we can compensate. So Gucci has a lot of strengths in heritage and craftsmanship, with over 100 years of Italian craftsmanship and traditions like the horsebit logo and so on. Gucci should really highlight that to prove it's timeless. Innovation and creativity. So they're very bold and electric designs. Before they used to incorporate these details in a very timeless sort of way that would be very interesting and unique, but still would be able to be used in the people's daily lives. Now their bold and electric designs are a bit more crazy and out there, which causes very few select people actually wear them, and it's very hard to incorporate them to any sort of daily style. Design leadership. So even though their designs might be their downfall right now, they're very trend-setting, and they have the attention of a lot of millennials and Gen Z who are still on this trend, though they are starting to move over to the quiet luxury or other aesthetics that are now out there, and leaving this hype beast vision behind. So that will become a weakness in the future. But now over to what we know are weaknesses today. So we have the market overexposure. So when Gucci started mass producing, they diluted themselves basically, and they made the quiet luxury consumers completely take a step back. Even something like iconic, like their Jackie bag, now when they have the Gucci logos all over it, you can't think about anything else. There's no exclusivity that comes to mind. There's no prestige that comes to mind. It's mostly this pop culture. Pricing challenges. So high prices limits aspirational buyers, which causes them to still want to buy Gucci, but they're only buying things like caps and small leather goods and so on. So they're not purchasing a lot of their other stock. And also, Gucci's competition. Other luxury brands offer better value for exclusivity. So by now you might be wondering, how can Gucci improve their brand image to save themselves from going deeper into this dip? So what we would recommend is Gucci should take a step back, like Chanel, and return to a classier logo which has not been used in mass productions or in counterfeit. They should reinforce Gucci's image of heritage and exclusivity more to bring back their very affluent buyers. Traditional luxury customers should be prioritized over aspirational buyers, and reposition Gucci as a timeless and but experimental luxury brand. So here we can see an example of this, of the Gucci logo now that is very well acquainted with this hip-hop culture, and then the old classical Gucci logo, which we have not seen in a very long time, and then some of Tom Ford's when he was creative director's runways, which really scream a bold statement pieces that still can work in everyday life and are timeless. So let's go through some of the opportunities for growth for a long-term period. So consumer loyalty. It's very, very important now that Gucci focuses on the consumer loyalty. Commitment to quality and their consumers are a very important must now. Adapting to a consumer-centric market strategy would be preferable to bring these consumers back and feel a prestigious and that Gucci is as exclusive as these other brands like Chanel and Hermes, but anti-counterfeit measures has to take place in order for this to be successful. Expanding product lines. So Gucci can expand product lines to become more timeless collections to attract luxury buyers. Diversified offerings into lifestyle categories. This has been done before, but it can be made again, but a bit more differently, to attract this old consumer base that Gucci wants back. Develop exclusive limited edition collaborations could also be a way to attract people who like very unique pieces. And then number 3, digital innovation and e-commerce. Since Gucci is doing quite well right now in their e-commerce platform, they could improve it a bit more with some AI personalization and AR try-on tools, which could start a trend, like for example on TikTok, of people trying their clothes, which could attract more buyers. Establish a presence in the metaverse. This is now not as big of a trend, but it could pop up again in the future, and this is a way, if done right, which would not be harmful to the brand image, but also rather elevate it, if they still stick to a timeless aesthetic. Utilize social commerce platforms for targeted, marketed, and seamless shopping would also be a cool feature to see on their websites. And number 4, focus on sustainable growth. This is what I would say the most important points for Gucci to follow. They should invest in more eco-friendly materials to not get any flashback. They should improve supply chain transparency, invest in bettering brand integrity and cultural. Now on to new revenue and profitability strategies. So Gucci should diversify into lifestyle categories such as home decor and luxury furniture. They could introduce wellness products. They could explore hospitality collaborations such as boutique hotels, exclusive dining experiences, which we will talk about more later. Collaborations. I think this is the most key one, as Gucci has been doing a lot of collaborations in the past, but with the wrong people to attract the client base that we want now for their rebranding initiative. So partner with influential designers, artists, or brands, which could create buzzworthy collections, but make sure that these collaborations are with the people who hold the aesthetic that Gucci wants to bring in now. Collaborative with cultural icons to target new demographics and enhance brand relevance. Enhance customer experience through technology. So an online virtual try-on tool would be amazing. Smart stores would also is something no one has done yet and would be a very cool, unique feature to have, where they would incorporate interactive mirrors and virtual assistants for real-time customization option in physical stores. This would also create a lot of buzz. Now on to the most important part. So the brand extension proposal we have come up with would be called Palacio Gucci, which is a heritage restaurant. So as Gucci has a lot of rich heritage from Italian side and so on, an exclusive Gucci design restaurant featuring this Italian cuisine would be very cool. Archive photography and art showcasing Gucci's legacies on the walls, so when people take pictures in the restaurants, the background can be displayed for everyone to see on social media. Curated luxury experiences inspired by the brand's heritage would be similar to Cipriani's to keep a timeless feel and not go into too much trendiness to lose traction in a few years. Objectives of this would be to reinforce Gucci's image of heritage and exclusivity. This would be a very exclusive restaurant. Attract traditional luxury customers, such that goes to Cipriani or the Dior cafes in Saint-Tropez and so on. Reposition Gucci as a timeless and experimental luxury brand, and boost positive presence on social media, as this would for sure bring a lot of traction on the right platforms. Now on to a line extension proposal. So what we came up with is this amazing roaring back La Tigre 90s Gucci capsule. This would be an amazing clothing line that Gucci could incorporate to showcase their new rebranding efforts. So why it fits? It's combining Italian elegance with the 90s nostalgia, and bringing in the more playful yet powerful tiger, which is iconic for Gucci. So Gucci would achieve the right brand image and right client base in its rebranding effort by doing this. So the base products would basically be 90s inspired designs with modern twists, which would be easily worn in an everyday elegant client's wardrobe. But no flashy patterns, no big logos, and we're going heavy on the elegant silhouettes to really cause people to ask where these pieces are from. The unique selling point would be sustainable materials with a touch of Gucci's elegance and luxury, and designs which are very hard to find today if they're not vintage, but with small innovative twists which would not maybe follow trends but form trends. So the most important 3 key takeaways that you should remember from this presentation for a strategic path forward would be: number 1, reinforce heritage and exclusivity in Gucci. Number 2, adapt to the quiet luxury market trends, as it's a more sustainable trend going forward. And number 3, expand strategic opportunities, like for example the La Tigre 90s capsule wardrobe and Palazzo Gucci restaurants. Thank you.